everyone, my name is Chastity, aka the LuminaryLunaBeams, and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You always brighten my day. So I have something fun and interesting for us today. I was trying to decide what I wanted to cover. I do have a list of topics. I'm kind of saving some of them for when I start actually filming directly with videos, which I hope will happen very soon. But today I have normal versus paranormal. So we're going to cover 5 supernatural or natural photos, and I am going to discern which ones are real and which ones are real paranormal activity, let's say, which ones are just normal activity. There's tons of pictures going around on the internet. People's like, look what I captured, look what I captured. Well, you know, some of them really is paranormal, and some of them you can just tell not so much. But with the type of technology that we have today, some things you just can't tell the difference unless you have a trained eye. So in my past life, before I did psychic mediumship stuff, I went to college for graphic arts and imaging technologies. So although this was a few years ago, not that many, but just a few, I actually can tell when an image has been manipulated. So for the most degree, like, again, this is just my opinions, my intuitive opinion. So I will be reaching conclusions on whether or not the photos are paranormal or normal. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump right on in. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this first photo. You have 2 lovely young ladies, and it does have a caption. I'm going to go ahead and read that, and then we'll go from there. So this was taken around 13 years ago, and it still makes my hair stand on end to this day. We were 3 friends having a drink and a laugh. One of us took a picture of myself and my friend. We seem to have captured what looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and insert the rest of the photo here, an older balding man with deep, dark set eyes. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing 2 ladies. Seems like they're having a good time. But if you look with the lady in the black behind her, there is something. And, you know, you can put in your own opinion. You know, if you, any of these videos, you know, even if it goes against what I say, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear, you know, your thoughts and stuff. But this image 13 years ago, and I mean, there's no telling when that was actually written, because this definitely looks like the early 2000s, so mid 2005, 2010, the way they're dressed, the style of their hair and everything. So I feel that's validating. And the quality of the image, I do not see any like photo enhancements or anything. This is just like a standard image. And if you look at this guy, quote unquote, you can clearly see him. You can see that it looks like he has some hair, he's balding, really deep set dark eyes, a long nose. It's very intriguing. So with all that being said, I kind of wanted to see if I could channel anything in, and this is pretty much what I got. I feel like this is a fractal of a spirit. It's not a full entire soul. So to explain a little further, our soul actually can break out in pieces, especially when we have traumatic events. And this particular fractal of a soul, of a person, I think is absolutely attached to the girl in the black shirt or hoodie. There's just something familiar energetically when I look at the 2 individuals and I see the girl with the shorter blonde hair or the one in the black. If you look at her eyes, they almost mirror his. Okay, and this is just being vigilant. But when you start to really look past that, and you know, using my intuitive abilities, I feel like this is something similar to a spiritual spouse. So what are spiritual spouses? Spiritual spouses are beings, whether that be human or non-human. Generally, well, there's a line there. We'll just leave it there. A human or non-human being or entity that ends up being attached emotionally to the living. And this can range from, earthy all the way to basically what we would call a demonic. Like you can think of incubuses or succubuses. That's probably as dark as it gets, to keep it in context. So this is definitely an earthy. And the way that you pick up a spiritual spouse isn't always in terms of a sexual nature. And this is something I've learned over the last year. It's not always in terms of a sexual nature. It's also in terms of emotions. Attachments are related to our emotions, the vibration that we put off. And it seems like this girl, when I look at her to kind of do a simple read just on the photo, not trying to pry, I feel like she actually suffers from depression, self-worth issues, and maybe even addiction. And I hate to be, forward with that, but I feel like, this may be what has drawn this earthy in to be emotionally attached to her. Because this person, the earthy, definitely, if this is a spiritual spouse attachment, they can have the same things in their life, the parts that they basically broke their soul on, the fractal of their spirit. And he is attached to this girl. So I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to go in super detail, but I think this is paranormal. This is not normal. Is it normal in today's society for people to have spiritual attachments? Yes, and some people even want them, but this is definitely not a hoax. This is a real paranormal photo. Before I bring you the next photo, if you're enjoying my content, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be updated when I release my new content. All right, back to normal versus paranormal. All right, moving on to number 2. So what we have here is a child. She looks like it's her birthday party, and they're just getting a little snapshot. This definitely looks like a photo that was taken with film. So this reminds me of photos that I have in my photo box before everything went digital. But if you take a look to the left side of the image and you look towards the back into the darkness, you see this image, this white image. And if you look a little closer, you start to see a face and maybe even hair and a body. They're saying that this was a paranormal capture. Nobody else was here. And I mean, it looks pretty spooky, I will have to say. But this was taken, I don't have a date or a time or any reference, but I do remember reading that about this photo. Now, when you look, you can see almost like even a red shirt, maybe even blue jean pants. Like, and the child it looks like a child if it's a spirit or not, because you just really look. It looks like if it was a spirit, it would be a child. Well, for me, I studied this picture for a minute, and honestly, I really didn't get any ghostly vibes from this. To me, what it looks like is where the flash hit, it picked up and kind of the pigments of the face, the color of the skin of the child. I'm going to be a little silly here, but it looks like a child is cracked out on sugar and skittering through the house. And it's kind of in motion as well. This being, which I think is actually a living child, is in motion. But please feel free to leave a comment down below if you think photo number 2 is paranormal or normal. For this one, I'm going to have to say it is normal. All right, moving on to photo number 3. Okay, in photo number 3, we have what appears to be an unexpected shadow man holding some form of a weapon that I don't want to say on YouTube. Even though I'm not monetized yet, I don't want this video to get demonetized if I ever make it that far. But you guys see what I'm saying here. It looks like a weapon. And it just like he's stalking the unexpected homeowner. And, at first sight, it looks really, really, really creepy, honestly. How would you feel if you saw this in your home. Reading the context above, it basically went something along the lines of, I saw this and I, had time to get out my phone and snap the picture. Or no, wait a minute. I think this one was actually caught on like a Ring camera or a home camera or something like that. Which we know the quality of those cameras, especially in the dark, people that kind of walk by, they kind of look like ghosts. That's been debunked. That's been proven. Now, is that always the case with these cameras that, record in the dark? No, sometimes they do actually catch paranormal activity, and this could be paranormal activity. And I sat here and I started to try to tap into the energy of the photo, the energy of the entity that is said to be displayed in this photo, and I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. And then I kept looking and I'm like, look there on the table. So if you notice down here in the right lower hand corner of the photo, there are 3 items from left to right. One looks like that weapon, and then the other one looks like it could be a bottle or something. But if you notice, the bottle has like a head. Not sure. And then you also have another object that looks like just a vase or one of those spinning tops that you had when you were a kid, which is very odd. But if you look at the items that are on the table and you look at the image of this shadow figure that is coming for the homeowner, to me, it looks like a trick. This is like some trick or treat stuff right here. So to me, it looks like they have played on stacking up these things and then easily overlaid them, because if you even pay attention at the bottom, it's really, really crappy quality, and they only have certain items that are darker. So easy to manipulate this image. I could make this image, and I'm going to try to insert one that a photo I took a while back, where I tried to duplicate paranormal activity, and it looks real, and I will insert that at the very end of the video for sure. You'll have to check it out. But yeah, it's easy to do this kind of stuff with a computer or even with light. So I'm going to have to say that photo number 3 is normal. But you know what? It's somebody did this. Somebody was put up to this. All right, moving on to number 4. We've got 2 more to go. So in this image, you're seeing a beautiful little kitty cat, gray kitty, super adorable. And we do have some context with this one. So what it says is, check this out. I took a picture of my grandmother's cat, and my grandmother got caught in the picture through the mirror. What? All right, take a deeper look back into that mirror there, guys. It says her dress, the mirror on her dresser, she was sitting on her bed. Look at her mouth. Ugh. Well, her face, really. I don't know if it matters, but she did put a picture for reference of her grandmommy. I've got the link to this, but I've chose to take grandmama out for reasons, just because I don't know, because the next sentence obviously is, sorry, I forgot to mention this was taken 3 months before she passed away. So out of respect for grandma, I did not want to put that in, but here's a closer look at the image of what's in the mirror. Now, from seeing the grandmother's picture, the teeth that you're seeing definitely could be similar to hers. She did have a very big smile, and the hair and everything, but the hair in her picture was not very messy or anything like that. This right here, this is wild. Okay, now granted, this is a picture of the grandmother, but something is totally off. It really looks like, it looks like a 3D person, but the actual image over this woman, this is not what her picture looked like. Even in the dark, there's absolutely no way. And honestly, when people are in transition, they're not able to take care of themselves as best as they could, before. That's perfectly natural. So the hair and stuff is going to be different than her nice image. But this is very interesting. And again, leave your thoughts about picture number 3 in the comments below. I had to take a step back because, like, when I really looked at it, I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. So something is with grandma. Something is not good in that house. I would be very interested to find out any other activity, because I guarantee there's more activity in this house. This image, even close up, does not look manipulated at all. The cat is, if you even notice the cat's eyes, the cat is actually looking at grandma, which is, normal. But the cat's like dead staring on this, this woman. I don't think this is her fault. I think something is definitely there. This is something dark. I don't really even want to say human from my intuitive guesses. This is definitely something very dark and very manipulative. And I would not be surprised if there's still something in this house or something that follows the family. I'm getting a family vibe. And it might even be for the woman that took the picture. I've edited out the names because I've scoured the internet over the last month and collected several different types of photos to bring you these videos. But yeah, this is very disturbing. This is something dark. I feel like it has the ability to shapeshift naturally. But it did something to this person, potentially too. There could have been some type of Alzheimer's or dementia I'm picking up too as well with this person. I don't want to give out too many personal details. Kind of really just want to focus on the the entity itself, but it feeds off negative energy. It's causing confusion. And yeah, I think this person spent a lot of time alone too. And this is another case of where it could be somewhat spiritual spouse-y, not quite, but something that kind of preys on people. So I'm going to say, if you hadn't guessed by now, that this photo is 100% paranormal. All right, and we got one more photo here. So I've been seeing this pop up around the interwebs, and people are capturing these portals just everywhere. And the caption says, "Please explain to me what I captured on my iPhone on 2 different occasions." And this is not the only post that I've seen. I'm going to try to find the other post I saw a little bit earlier and screen cap it, and we'll see. So I find this very interesting. At first glance, I was like, whoa, what is that? But then you look, this is some unseemly portal in the middle of, the yard where they're doing construction. They've done, rustled up something, and it's a portal to another dimension. You could just hop right through. It looks like a hobbit hole, right? And at first glance, it's like, what in the world is that? Well, I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but this is a trick of light. This is some type of lens flare. And it seems like it is either a tiny little water drop, which is unlikely but possible, or B, this is the actual reflection of the lens. So you can cap your lenses, which I have done to my phone to keep my camera in tip-top shape because I use it to record and film and do all kinds of stuff with the camera. And that very well could be what it is, because when the sun comes through, it's going to refract. Mine are actually metal, rainbow metal on the outside. So I am going to have to say that, unfortunately, this is not a portal or a hobbit hole. Photo number 5, our final photo, is something that is normal. Okay, guys, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and insert my normal play paranormal photo that I took with a trick of light and a little bit of fog out in my backyard. So if you look, you can see it looks really misty. You're looking out into the woods and you see like this figure over there to the middle right of the photo. Well, that is my fiance. So we were trying to get some pictures to kind of play around with, and we were just getting different neat little photos because the fog and we had a flashlight and we did a bunch of cool little projects. But yeah, it's really easy. I didn't even do any altercations to this photo either. So it's really, really easy to manipulate photos with light. I mean, light is probably one of the biggest causes of having things appear in your photos. So guys, if you have any photos that you want to send me via email, you can do that. You can send it to the LuminaryLunaBeams@gmail.com, and maybe your photo will end up in my next normal versus paranormal video. I hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to do something fun for Halloween, and I would like to keep doing this. It was actually pretty neat, and if you liked it, let me know. Also, before I go, I wanted to remind you all that I do have my services up and running. If anybody is interested, you can check out this list that I provided. And you can also email me at the LuminaryLunaBeams@gmail.com. Like I said before, the link will be in the description box down below. But that's all I have for you this time. Until next time, peace out.